Okay, so then the Sony deal comes in. So does 3 6 Mafia come before or after Sony?
The reason why I sold to Sony was because of 3 6 Mafia. So Master P's blowing up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is he doing different that he's selling records like this? You know, to me, it wasn't about the quality. It was just how he's doing it. So I get on a tour bus with like 3 or 4 people, and I do the whole South.
Okay.
And everybody kept on talking about this 3 6 Mafia thing.
From
and
Memphis.
Yeah, and I knew I was selling to Sony, but nobody else knew.
Okay.
And then when Tommy said to me, who do you want to be with, Columbia or Epic? I said, I want Relativity.
Okay.
And we'll turn the whole thing around. And that's how 3 6 Mafia came into place.
So you guys signed 3 6 Mafia.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know DJ Paul, like I've interviewed him a bunch of times. I guess they kept all their publishing, which was like
they're rich.
the best deal ever.
They're really rich.
Yeah, because if they had gotten rid of the publishing like most artists were doing, it would have been a whole different situation. Yeah, and DJ Paul is doing great these days, even with no hit records recently. Okay, so you signed 3 6 Mafia. Was that Tear the Club Up? Was that the first album?
Yeah.
I remember seeing commercials for it.
Yeah.
How well does that album do?
Gold.
And then you sell to Sony. So you sell your entire label, Loud Records, to Sony. Can you say how much?
I don't want to say how much.
Tens of millions? Hundreds of millions?
Not hundreds, but it's up there.
It's up there. So you're talking about high 7 digits. No, wait, high 8 digits. Why sale? So was it just the amount of money they were offering you was so ridiculous you just couldn't?
I wanted to play with the big boys. Sony was giving me the opportunity to be the 3rd major in the Sony system.
Aha. And the other 2 were
Columbia and Epic.
Aha. Okay. So
we went from a staff of 30 people to 400 people in a day.
But then what happens next? Because it doesn't quite work out the way you would
The
hoped.
shoe doesn't fit.
The shoe doesn't fit. Meaning what?
It just wasn't a fit. You know, I was used to still doing my things my way. I had to do quarterly numbers, this numbers, that numbers. The only good thing about it was, I had an unlimited expense account and the plane. You had
a plane?
The Sony plane.
How long were you at Sony before you just said?
3 years.
3 years. And then what? Your contract was up at that point?
Yep.
Who stayed? But they didn't keep Loud around.
No, they just got
absorbed into Sony. So 3 6 Mafia stayed at Sony.
Everybody stayed at Sony.
So Wu-Tang, Mobb
Deep.
I guess Exhibit was also part of that situation.
Little Flip.
Oh, that was Loud.
Yeah.
Ah, right. I forgot about that.
He was the last artist I signed to Loud.
Okay, and that album went, what, gold, platinum?
Platinum.
Now, I heard at one point you had the chance to sign Eminem. Who brought him?
Shane Mooney.
Okay. So, did you meet up with him and everything?
No, I didn't meet. So the thing was, M was an underground rapper.
Yeah, from Detroit.
So,
I remember there's a website called Sandbox Automatic. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
It was like a website that sold like underground 12-inch vinyls or something like that. And from that website, I bought the Slim Shady EP because everyone was talking about it at the time. And I remember listening to it like, this guy's incredible. Like, this was before Dre found him, and I remember like, this is gonna be the biggest thing ever. And then Dre eventually found him, and it became the biggest thing ever. So it was brought to you.
But none of those records were on it. They were just like underground records, not even really hooks on the record.
The Slim Shady EP?
Not the Slim Shady.
This was before the Slim Shady EP.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. This was like what was the name of that first album he had?
I don't even remember.
Eternal or something? It was like, yeah.
So I was like, the kid could spit, and he's, but it's like, now, I think I'm playing with the big boys. I'm thinking, I need a radio record.
Radio records. Infinite was his first version. Yeah, okay. So you passed on Eminem. I heard they brought Jay-Z to you.
Jay-Z, I could have burned the building. I wanted Jay-Z. They wouldn't let me sign Jay-Z.
So
that's one of the reasons why Dame brought me Jay-Z.
So Dame Dash brought you Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Was this before Reasonable Doubt?
During Reasonable Doubt.
Oh, Reasonable Doubt was already out.
No, it was coming out.
Oh, so Clark Kent and all of them were already working on Reasonable Doubt. You heard the records, and you thought,
I gotta have it.
You gotta have it.
RCA wouldn't let me have it.
But that came out independently, right?
It came out, yeah, but then it went to went to Priority, and then Leon Russell got the second album.
Right, exactly. But that first album was
Independent. Yeah.
with the distribution deal. But you wanted that first album.
Yep.
How much were they asking?
It wasn't the money.
Really?
It was, I had too much power up there, and they said, if he's going crazy over this, God forbid, I was a terror. So it was like they were trying to just control me.